Hi, Mrs. Page. I'm Victoria from ADP. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hi, yes, of course. It's a pleasure to meet you too.
Thank you so much for having me today. I understand you're an incredibly busy woman. I actually have a friend right now that's in the process of opening up her own clinic, so I completely understand the tenacity that's required and how great of an accomplishment it is for you and your husband to have a successful clinic. So congratulations, of course.
Well, thank you for that. Yes, we are extremely happy and thankful to have had this much success. And of course, we are hopeful for the future. Wish your friend the best of luck. It is a lot of hard work, but it's definitely worth it. I wish them success.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for that. I'll definitely let her know. Before we get started, I want to just hand you my business card, just in case after this meeting, if you have any questions, any concerns at all, please don't hesitate to contact me and allow me to help.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, you're welcome. I know we previously discussed having about 10 minutes for this meeting. I'm sorry. And I want to be respectful of your time. So is that still the case?
10 minutes sounds perfect.
All right, great. After this meeting, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. What would be your next natural step? Is there somebody else that's involved in your decision-making process and your purchasing process?
Well, I definitely need to discuss with my husband. Although I am the one who handles most administrative work, I would like to get his thoughts and opinions before committing to anything.
Of course, that's completely understandable. Do you mind if I take notes throughout our discussion just so that I can keep track of everything we cover? I can email you a list of everything just so that you can keep track as well.
That would be great.
Perfect, thank you. So about today, I really just want to hear more about you, more about your business. I kind of want to get a feeling for what challenges you guys face, what your payroll situation's like, your administrative situation, and of course, I want to understand what your future goals are.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so let's get started. I know you guys have 2 locations right now. How many employees is that?
Well, we've got 20 employees at this clinic and 15 at the others, so 35 employees total.
All right, 35 employees. And how are those employees paid? What system do you guys have in place right now?
They're paid by check on a bi-weekly basis. We are currently using an off-the-shelf program called Microsoft Dynamics to handle payroll.
Okay, Microsoft Dynamics. Is that the same system that you guys have had since you opened up your first clinic?
Yes, the same system.
All right, and tell me why y'all chose to go with Microsoft Dynamics. What benefits does that offer you?
In all honesty, it's really a simple system. It was easy to get and didn't seem very expensive in comparison to the other options. It served us well the past 8 years, but now as we grow, we are finding ourselves dealing with more and more problems caused by it. The low cost is what I would say is the best feature.
Okay, so after saying that, would you say that it's cost effective?
While from a certain standpoint, the software itself is cost effective. The problem it gives us, well, that's another story.
I completely understand. How much do you all pay right now to use Microsoft Dynamics?
We pay a fee of $1,500 yearly to keep the system updated.
$1,500, okay. And since you first started using Microsoft Dynamics, do you feel as if your needs have expanded?
Oh, of course. The more we grow and the more employees we get, the stronger our need for a reliable, accurate system.
Of course. It sounds like you and your husband are interested in growing. Is that correct?
Yes, that is a goal of ours, say in the next 2 to 3 years.
Oh, awesome. Well, of course, I wish you guys all the success you found in your first 2 clinics. Is it safe to say that with the situation you have right now as far as payroll and taxes go, do you feel confident in growing and expanding onto new clinics?
I don't think Microsoft Dynamics is made to handle business of that magnitude. It worked well when we only had 1 location, but now at 2, it's only given us problems. I really don't feel too confident in growing while still using Microsoft Dynamics. If we open 2 more stores, gain an additional 35 employees, that would have me manually sending out checks for 70 employees.
70 employees, yeah, that would definitely be a problem. If you're inputting all that manual information, I can only imagine how much time that would take. So tell me a little bit about that. How many hours a week or per period would you estimate that takes?
3 minutes for individual time card, about an hour to keep in payroll, then about 2 hours each pay period signing and sending out checks. I also have to manually track paid time off, so that adds more time. Tax administration takes up a lot of my time as well. Keeping track of tax deposits and W-2s, reconciling bank statements is another issue that adds time. It's not a lot, but it's still something I would like to not have to deal with. All of that combined, I usually spend over 35 hours a week keeping track of everything.
Wow, 35 hours a week. I hadn't realized that took so much from you. With all that manual labor involved, there must be mistakes. Would you say that accuracy is a problem with Microsoft Dynamics and the payroll system you guys currently have in place?
Accuracy is definitely a problem, a huge problem. I would say about 4 checks each pay period that are incorrect. So I have to void those, recalculate them, and reissue them. That of course adds even more time. With tax administration, there is just so much to keep track of. About 4 years ago, we had a penalty for reporting late.
Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sure there's a way we can resolve all those issues. So now let's say you had a system that was reliable, very accurate, and that handled all those tedious tasks for you. What would you be able to do with your newly found free time?
I would love to be able to spend more time with my children. When we began the business, it was supposed to be part-time. Over the years, it's taken more and more time and dedication, and unfortunately, the time I get to spend with my kids has suffered.
Oh, of course. I can only imagine. I'm sure your kids would enjoy that, but what about Dr. Page? How do you think he would feel about that? Do you think he'd be happy about having more time to dedicate to your family?
He would, yes. I'm sure he would enjoy my lower level of stress too.
Yeah, of course. How about your employees from their standpoint? How do you think they would benefit from having a payroll system that was more accurate and more reliable? Do you think they'd be more productive in the workplace and have a greater level of job satisfaction if they knew that they were going to get an accurate paycheck?
Yes, of course. My husband and I try to keep our employees as happy as possible. It gets a little hard sometimes with mistakes happening so frequently.
Of course. Now, what about direct deposit? Is that something that you guys currently offer to your employees?
Unfortunately, we don't. Microsoft Dynamics doesn't allow us to.
And I'm assuming that that is something that both you and your employees would be interested in having. Is that correct?
Exactly.
All right, perfect. I'm also aware that you guys have considered hiring a full-time accountant to kind of help you with that workload and take control of your payroll and taxes. What are your opinions about that?
We have considered it, but it would cut into our budget as we look into opening a new location. We're trying to cut costs, so that option doesn't seem very appealing.
That is completely understandable. You also mentioned pricing and budgeting whenever you spoke about why you and Dr. Page decided to go with Microsoft Dynamics initially. So I definitely understand that that's important to you all. Other than that, it seems like most of the challenges that you're facing right now are regarding accuracy, time, and efficiency. Is that right? Did we cover everything, or are there any other major issues that you would like to have resolved?
I don't think so. Seems like we covered it all.
Okay, perfect. Well, Mrs. Page, like I said before, I want to be very respectful of your time, especially now after hearing how little of it you have to spare. Like I said again, I appreciate you taking the time out to meet with me today. I'm going to go over to the office. I can definitely email you this list I have going. I'll go ahead and create a custom package with ADP, that we can offer in order to address all the issues and challenges that you guys are facing and hopefully help you and Dr. Page reach your goals. How does that sound?
That sounds great. I look forward to it.
Awesome, as do I. I'll give you the chance to review your schedule. I know you probably don't know it off the top of your head. And I can give you a call tomorrow so we can discuss what time would be great for us to meet. Is that good?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.